Located in southwestern Sydney, 30 kilometres from the Sydney CBD, is a suburb known as Cabramatta. Most notably, Cabramatta contains Australia's largest Vietnamese population and is renowned for its multicultural nature and Asian restaurants. The story of Cabramatta describes changing migration patterns to Australia and reveals many layers of local history. Today, Cabramatta CBD reflects the arrival of refugees from Vietnam, Cambodia, and Laos in the late 1970s. According to the 2011 Census of Population, there were 20,780 residents in Cabramatta, with 29.4% of these people being born in Australia. Other countries of birth consisted of Vietnam with 32.6%, Cambodia with 9.4%, China with 5.2%, Laos with 1.6%, and Thailand with 1.5%.
Over time, Cabramatta has experienced various instances of change and development. The 1800s saw the construction of basic infrastructure within the area, including railways in the 1850s and the police station and its first school, Cabramatta High School, in the 1880s. This established Cabramatta as a full-fledged community. The newly formed Cabramatta continued this development, and in 1975, influxes of Asian populations from Cambodia, Laos and Vietnam had relocated to Cabramatta as a result of the Vietnam War. This contributed to Cabramatta's reputation as highly multicultural and attracted attention to the community in the form of tourism. In 1991, the construction of the Pai Lao Gateway in Freedom Plaza became a symbol of democracy and freedom. Etched on the gate, bold letters spelled out liberty and democracy in Chinese, Vietnamese, English, Khmer, and Lao.
However, the early 1990s time period took a turn for the worse. Rising trends of drug trafficking, particularly with heroin, had become a serious problem within the community. It rose to a point where, as soon as one arrived at Cabramatta Station, in night or broad daylight, someone would instantly approach attempting to sell drugs. This resulted in nights where bodies, dead due to overdoses, littered public grounds, and used syringes were a common sight. Consequently, the community was dubbed the heroin capital of Sydney. This lowered Cabramatta's reputation and gave it a poor image. In response to this, the police launched an operation in 1997. This was directed towards cleaning up Cabramatta of its crimes. It was also launched to help those who heavily feared that there were drug dealers next door. Police wanted to catch these people and restore the community's faith and reputation. Such changes within Cabramatta were an effect of these strategies implemented by individuals as well as groups and government bodies.
A strategy used by the government was the implementation of security cameras on drug hotspots. These cameras provided the police with the means to monitor and track suspicious areas. It was placed in locations such as the train station, car parks, and busy streets. It effectively lowered incidents of drug dealing in public and drove dealers elsewhere. Not only this, it has also decreased rates of theft and retail robbery, knowing they were being monitored. A safer public environment was eventually reached with this strategy. This was one of the major changes that led Cabramatta to being a well-known tourist attraction for its multicultural and diverse atmosphere. However, it was a very costly investment, accounting for over 70% of Fairfield Council's ongoing costs. CCTV cameras were often vandalized and were difficult to maintain, leading to funds used that could have been spent on better infrastructure or rehab centers. This strategy also only took the problem elsewhere, as drug dealers began setting up apartments as their dealing headquarters. This proved to be a harder problem, as police forces wouldn't have the evidence to arrest a suspect. The government also stated that after 5 years of operating CCTV, it didn't seem to have an effect on the overall drug problem.
Another strategy implemented by residents to instigate change in the community was the construction of the Pai Lao Gateway in Cabramatta CBD. It was opened on Chinese New Year in 1991. They financed the project through fundraising by a diverse range of the Cabramatta community and business groups. About $500,000 was raised through fundraising dinners, line dance performances, and other activities. This demonstrated harmony within the community, which in turn made residents more socially intertwined. It has become an outstanding tourist attraction, contributing to the visits and business conducted within the area.
As we can see, Cabramatta is now an extremely diverse area where citizens of different cultures are able to wander the streets freely without having to fear for their safety. The reputation of this area has changed tremendously, from violent and hostile to an accepting and peaceful community. Ultimately, Cabramatta has overcome such a disastrous past to have built such a remarkable community that has attracted great attention. Because of these changes, Cabramatta has been able to hold many festivals, such as Lunar New Year and Moon Festival, which celebrate the traditions and cultural aspects of different ethnic backgrounds. This highlights the liveliness of Cabramatta's community spirit.
What did you witness around Cabramatta?
What do you witness around Cabramatta? What do you witness?
Well, I know there was a heavy drug crime, drug presence in Cabramatta at that time. Maybe, just living was I living in the area then? Yeah, I was living pretty close to the area.
Oh my God! Back then, Cabramatta used to be a whole drug scene. You know, I went to Cabramatta and there'll be an ambulance with a junkie on the side of the road with a needle sticking out his arm, having an epileptic fit.
It was a senior class, and it was something that happened in a previous lesson, and a student came very angry, and while I was explaining maths, out of nowhere he just stood up, went to the back of the room and tried to thump the boy in the back corner. And he was actually very aggressive, the boy, so there was one negative incident, and I've been here for so long.
I wasn't even here at that time.
Could you compare the state of Cabramatta back then to now?
Cabramatta from back then to now. How is it?
Oh boy.
Cabramatta station and just deal drugs in broad daylight, whereas now it's completely changed. You know, the police have done a wonderful job cleaning the streets with drugs.
Right now, my parents won't shop in Cabramatta because they said there's no parking, and plus they can't get half the stuff they want. Now, when I was in primary school, it was still White Australia policy, so it was a lot of English speaking, British speaking, we had the 10-pound poms.
The whole gang, 5T gang, and it was quite bad back then. But nowadays, nothing like, there's still some like people dealing drugs and that, but it's low key.
Because the students treated the school as a safe haven. They came here because they wanted to learn. Just a total turnaround in the population of the school.
What do you mean? Oh, when you nod your head yes, but you want